Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss about dimensional analysis. What do you mean by dimensional analysis? We have to convert one unit of any system into another unit of any other system. We must do that process. That process is known as dimensional analysis or unit factor method. So, in dimensional analysis, we taking some example. Our first example is 3 inch is equal to how many centimeters? So, friends, we know that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So, 3 inch is equal to how much? So, you can easily calculate 3 into 2.54 is equal to total centimeter. This is a very simple example of a dimensional method. In our second case, 2 liter is sum of water या milk. 2 liter is equal to how many or how much meter cube? So, you have to remember 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So, we can say that if we want to reach 1000 centimeter cube, so we have to done a cube of 1 meter and 100 centimeter. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter cube. So we will get 1 meter cube upon 10 raised to minus 6 centimeter. So we can say that 2 into 1000 into 10 raised to minus 6 is equal to this 2 liter into 1000 centimeter cube into 10 raised to minus 6, which is converted into meter cube. So you will get 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. This is your final answer. Our third example is 2 day is equal to how many seconds? We know that 1 day contains 24 hours. 1 hour is consist of 60 minutes and 1 minute is consist of 60 seconds. You can say that 2 day into 24 hour into 60 minute into 60 second. So you will get your total answer in seconds. What we done here, this 2 day, 1 day contains 24 hours. So 2 into 24. After that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So we multiply by 60 and 1 minute is equal to converted into 60 seconds. So we multiply by 60 again. So you will get the total answer nearly 1,72,000 seconds. This is the basic information about the dimensional analysis or unit factor method. In this method, you will convert one unit to another unit. In all three examples, this is from each to centimeter, liter to meter cube, and day to second. You can convert from minute also, you can convert from hour also into seconds. In our next theory, law of conservation of mass. Conservation of mass means the mass of any object is fixed during any type of process. Any type of process means physical process or chemical process, combustion process, but the mass of that object is fixed. This law of conservation of mass is given by Antoine Lavoisier. He said that there is no net change in mass during any physical and chemical process. This is most important in this rule. There is no net change in mass during physical and chemical process. So, he finally concluded that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. You cannot destroy or you cannot form new element or matter, but you can convert those matter into one form to another or one look to another look. Our second rule is law of definite proportion. Definite proportion means ratio or the percentage of every element is fixed. This law is given by Joseph Proust. Joseph Proust said that compound always contain exactly the same proportion of element in natural as well as synthetic compound. Always contain exactly the same proportion. We can understand this rule by this example. We have a solid of CuCO3 means cupric carbonate. CuCO3. This CuCO3 consists of three elements. Our first element is copper, another one is carbon, and third one is oxygen. We have two different cases, natural CuCO3 and synthetic CuCO3. Synthetic means you have to made up in laboratory. So the percentage of copper is exactly same in both the cases, 51.35% natural as well as synthetic. The percentage of oxygen is 38.91, also synthetic is 38.91, and percentage of carbon is 9.74 in both natural as well as synthetic example. So this example is proved the rule of Joseph Proust, that is compound always contain exactly the same proportion of weight in natural as well as synthetic compound CuCO3. Third law, and this is very important law for your 11th basic. This law was given by Dalton in 1803 century. He said that this rule is very awkward in understanding. Two elements can combine to form more than one compound. See, two elements, one compound. So, what is the case? The masses of one element that combine with a fixed masses of the other elements are in a ratio of small value. I know you did not understand any once or any single line from this law of Dalton. So, see, our first element is hydrogen and another element is oxygen. Two elements, one hydrogen, one oxygen. To form more than one compound, it means this hydrogen and oxygen can forming more than one compound. So we taking the examples, H2 plus 1/2 O2 gives H2O. This one compound is formed by hydrogen and oxygen. More than one means another case, H2 plus O2 will give H2O2. This hydrogen and oxygen can make H2O as well as H2O2. This H2 means water and this H2O2 means hydrogen peroxide, which is used as disinfectant. The weightage of this hydrogen is 2 gram. Here 1/2 O2 means 16 gram and H2O means total weightage 16 plus 2 gram is equal to 18 gram. In this case, hydrogen weight is same as H2O. 2 gram of H2 is used in H2O and 2 gram of weight is used in H2O2. The weightage of oxygen will change from 16 gram to 32 gram. See, in formation of H2O, you required only one oxygen, but in the formation of H2O2, you required 2 oxygen atom. So here we have to take 32 gram and over here we have to take 16 gram. So one element that combine with a fixed masses of the other element are in a ratio of a small value. So 2 gram and 2 gram are the same weightage ratio. Is combining with the third element means this oxygen. So the ratio of oxygen, we can say that ratio of oxygen is equal to 16:32. 16:32 is also represented by the small value, and this 16:32 is also written as 1:2. So we convert this big value into the small value. So this is the rule which is understanding by this example of H2O, and the another example is H2O2. This is known as hydrogen peroxide. So you have to keep in mind that this 1:2 is the representation of a ratio with a small value. These 3 rules are most important for this 11th standard basic concepts. After this, one rule is Avogadro law and another is Gay-Lussac law. Avogadro law, you already know that 1 mole of any gases or any solid or any liquid will contain the exactly same numbers, and that number is known as Avogadro number, 6.022 into 10⁻23. This is the basic, only one detail which you have to learn from the Avogadro law. After this law of multiple proportion, we are going to discuss about Dalton's atomic theory. First of all, when Dalton gave this atomic theory, one scientist, that is Democritus, said that matter is composed of small indivisible particle. Indivisible particle means you cannot break those particles into further partitions, and that matter is composed of indivisible particle that is named as atomio. Atomio is a Greek word, and this atomio is converted into atom in a present scenario. This law was given by the Democritus, but Dalton done the experiments and changed this value, as Dalton said that matter is composed of indivisible atom. Democritus said that particle, but Dalton said that atom. Dalton said that elements have the same property. Same property means chemical structure, shape, melting point, boiling point. Suppose one sodium is exactly identical with another sodium. The same elements contains same physical and chemical properties, but different elements have different chemical and physical properties. Means sodium did not match with the magnesium or aluminium. The third point of Dalton's atomic theory is compounds are formed by the atoms of different elements. Compounds means, this is the example, H2O and H2O2. We can say that H2O is formed by the atoms of different elements. There is a 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom. And fourth and last point, which is given by Dalton, and said that the reorganization of atom is possible during the chemical or physical process, but we cannot create it or we cannot destroy the atom or particle during the chemical reactions. So the rearrangement or reorganization of atom is possible. So you can convert H2O into H2O2, but you cannot totally destroy that molecule by this theory. After the theory of Dalton, we will discuss over here about molecular mass. Molecular mass means the total of atomic mass. Atomic mass means we can say in short as AMU. AMU means atomic mass unit, or you can say unified mass indicated by small u. When we combine these atomic weights of different elements, and that becomes total is molecular mass. We can understand by this simple example, C4H10. C4H10 means butane. So we can write here 4 atomic weight of carbon plus hydrogen is 10. So 10 into atomic weight of hydrogen is equal to 0. The atomic weight of carbon is taken as 12 plus atomic weight of hydrogen is 1. Four into 12 is equal to 48 plus 10 is equal to 58 gram per mole, or you can say U, unified mass. This is one example of C4H10. You have to remember this atomic weight of various elements, or in exam you have given this weight, so you have to just put that value and give the total. In second example, MgSO4, magnesium sulfate. Atomic weight of Mg plus sulfur plus 4 number of oxygen. Mg has atomic weight of 24, sulfur has 32, oxygen has 16. So we get 24 plus 32 plus 64. So the total molecular mass becomes 120 U. So this is the total of atomic number or atomic weight is results into molecular mass. I am giving you the different compounds. You have to calculate the molecular mass of various compounds. ZnSO4 means zinc sulfate, C6H12O6 means glucose, C12H22O11 zinc sulfate, glucose, sugar, potassium dichromate, these four compounds, so you have to calculate the molecular mass. You will find these atomic weights of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, chromium, potassium, zinc, sulfur and oxygen behind your book. You will notice all the atomic weight. You have to take that atomic weight into this example. Okay, this is the basic or main theory of molecular mass.